Thank you very much, Alana. John Wilson joins us now from the National Weather Service offices in Salt Lake City. John, you're a meteorologist with the NWS. Tell us about the current situation down there, what we're seeing. We just saw the maps, and what is going on right now with the watches and warnings?
Yeah, so we have that flash flood watch out through the remainder here of the evening. We've had a couple flash flood warnings, especially around the Capitol Reef National Park area. One of those actually within Capitol Reef National Park. And what we're noticing are very slow moving storms that are producing heavy rains in a relatively short period of time. So rainfall amounts around an inch or even some places over an inch within an hour. And so rainfall like that with slow moving storms can really produce flash flooding very quickly.
Tell us about the terrain in these areas we're talking about and why an inch of rain can be such a big deal in these areas.
Yeah, so the terrain in this region, if you've been there, a lot of people know it's really rocky. There's not much drainage for this water to go into. So really rocky, the water runs off the terrain and basically goes to the lower lying elevations. And so slot canyons, as you know, are basically the low point of a canyon, and water can really rush in there. The more narrow and closer it is to the storm, the water can really increase very quickly and become very fast moving and take anyone off their feet very quickly.
Yeah, we certainly have seen a number of tragic outcomes from these slot canyon floods. What are things people need to be looking out for if they are in one of these areas during a time like this?
Well, a lot of these areas we know don't have great phone signals, so you really need to know well ahead of time. So that's checking the forecast in the morning in a place where you have signal or where you can check out the forecast on television or any way you can get the forecast beforehand, hours before. And then when you're out in these areas, be paying attention to the skies and know that there's a chance for showers and thunderstorms that could produce heavy rain. But on top of that, some of these slot canyons or dry washes that can flood may not even have rain actually at that location. It can come from some upstream location as it flows downstream and cause significant dangerous flooding. So paying attention to the forecast in the morning and then keeping track of things as the day goes on, and know that even if it doesn't rain where you are, it can still be dangerous.
What about the color of the water? If the water underfoot is clear and then suddenly turns cloudy, muddy, or murky, what does that mean?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when you have clear water, or a lot of these places right now, it's been so dry recently, a lot of these beds are very dry or maybe even have no water. So when the water becomes more murky, that just means it's picking up more and more debris, more sand, more rocks. So more debris just means it's picking up stuff as it moves upstream. So the more murky it looks, that's just a sign that it's carrying from some distant location more sand, more rocks, more limbs, anything like that.
And finally, John, the danger to vehicles, because we see a lot of vehicles coming up to these roadways where there's running water. They're tempted to try and cross, but tell us why that's not a good idea.
Yeah, it's really one of the worst mistakes you can make in flash flooding or even in really minor flooding situations, because people don't realize how powerful water can be. Even if it's a very shallow amount of water, it only takes a few inches to sweep a person off their feet, and just a little bit more than that to take a car and basically remove its tires from the road, pick the car up essentially, and carry it downstream. So very shallow amounts of water can do that, and you not only basically put your car at a big time risk, you put yourself at a big risk as well, because it's very, very hard. There's been studies and experiments that show getting out of your car and moving water is extremely hard.
All right, meteorologist John Wilson from the National Weather Service, thank you very much for joining us today, and thanks for all of that great advice for everybody to stay safe out there this afternoon and this evening.
Yeah, thanks for having me.